Good evening, y'all. My name is Bianca, and welcome to my YouTube channel. My discussions are going to basically be about everyday life, about being a mom, being a wife, and being a woman over her 40s. Okay. I figure what a great platform is to go on and share my experiences, things that have worked for me, and things that haven't worked for me, and lessons that we live and learn through every day. So I figured, why don't we do a get ready with me before I go to bed, before I start a new day tomorrow, and talk about what's been on my mind. And that's been, as a mom, dealing with teenage boys. Well, I have an adult son now, and I have a teenager that's 13 going on 35. So let's talk about those daily stresses that us mothers and parents go through, because it can be dads as well, about how siblings, my boys are 7 years apart. My oldest is 21 and my youngest is 13. He'll be 14 in September. So my youngest cherishes the ground that my oldest walks on. But he's also very competitive with him, and he likes to compare himself and tries to validate when he feels that he was more successful in anything that he does with him. And those were things that I was thinking about, is that, when you have siblings that you don't remember as a child, that you do get jealous sometimes of your siblings. And I see that within my youngest, is that he is jealous of his older brother. And many times it's because he always says is, why can he do this and I can't? Well, he seems to forget that his brother is 21 years old and can certainly do anything at this point that he wants. And he can't. And he doesn't seem to understand that. Why can he go out? Why can he, why doesn't he have to do chores? Why is it you always are always calling my name to do something, and never call him, it's like those comparisons that I don't seem to understand. And no matter how many times I try to explain it to him, he doesn't understand. He likes to debate. He likes to overanalyze. He has always something to say. And that is my challenge with him, that no matter what type of explanation that I can give him to explain that while he is a minor and living under my household, he needs to live by our household rules. You're going to have a curfew. You're going to ask permission to go out. You're not going to come in and out as you please. And you still need to ask for permission. You are still a minor. You are still under my house. You are still under my care. Well, he doesn't seem to rationalize with that and still finds it challenging. He is really good at making debates and thinking like, oh, it's a double standard kind of scenario. So what do you do at this point? What more can I tell him besides that? No matter what you have to tell me, no matter how much kickback you want to give me, what I say goes. I am the adult. You are my child. I am your parent. And what I say goes, whether you like it or not. And he's the type that he continues to go back and forth and back and forth and back and forth and back and forth and doesn't give up. Well, what have I learned from this? I've learned to say it one time and to walk away from it. Then he comes to realize, it's like, are you okay? Are you upset? I see that you're different. Is something bothering you? And then that's when I take a moment and tell him yes. And I explain to him I don't like the back and forth. I don't like how you question and how you want to debate everything that I say. Of course, he wants to go ahead and start another battle, another debate. And I said, I'm not having this conversation anymore. Sorry, I'm taking off, waterproof mascara, no matter how much I use it and clean it off, it's still there. So I'm just making sure that it goes off. I think skincare, it is so important. This is my me time. I love to do my skincare morning, afternoon. I like to play with makeup. But really my skincare routine is really what just gives me that zen, that relaxation, and that me time that I can have to get away and just have a few minutes just to myself to just do my skincare, which I absolutely love. So to go back to talk about it, because it's really, really a hot topic in my household, okay? This is something that's kind of been draining me. This is kind of something that it's giving me a little bit of stress because I have this type of child that is just very pushy. He's very argumentative. He analyzes everything. He has an answer for everything. No matter what we say, he has an answer for it. And he has validity in what he says. I mean, it makes sense what he says, right? But when it comes to making him understand that regardless of what you're telling me, it's what I say. I don't care what you need to tell me, what statistics, what analytics you have to it. It doesn't matter. It's what I say, and this is what it goes. You take it or you don't and face the consequences. So you choose. So when he sees that I get down to that type of a tone, he comes down. He comes down. But you think the battle is over, but it's not. He'll save it for another day. So the battle is constantly going. It's constantly going, no matter what. So we had the conversation the other day where he compares himself to his brother, and it's heartbreaking and it makes me sad because it's like I want him to understand that they're both unique, that they're not the same. You cannot compare yourself to each other. You both are unique in your own ways and you both have your own little specialties. Oh goodness. And you can't compare yourself to each other. You cannot. And my youngest has that. He'll be like, oh my goodness, my Darian is so photogenic. It's like he always takes really good pictures. He doesn't even have to post. And here I am. My pictures don't come out like the way his does. Or he's like, I always thought that, Davian was, better than me, stronger than me. And now that I'm older, I can get to him. And, he'll make a point anytime that he feels that he has superseded his brother. He'll make a point. He will make a point to say it. He will make a point. So it's that jealousy, that sibling jealousy. My oldest does not have any of that. And if he does not say a word about it. They're polar opposites. My oldest is completely laid back. He's easygoing, and he's just really easygoing, sweetheart. They're both sweethearts. Don't get me wrong. They're both amazing boys. I am truly blessed with the boys that I have, that God has blessed me with. They're both so special in their own ways. They both have great talents, and I'm blessed that God has made me their mom. I truly, 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 truly am. And I'm up for the challenge. Every day I am up for the challenge to be their mom, to be the best mom that I can be. and do the best that I can to raise these boys the best that I can to my ability, and to make them and build them to be great men, and the key to it is communication. One thing I can say is that both of my boys will come and talk to me about anything and everything. Anything and everything. No matter what. No matter what. I've had conversations with my oldest about, his younger brother, to make sure that he shows him that he cares, that sometimes his brother feels that he doesn't care for him. Spend time with him. Make sure that you just take the time to, random call him and say, hey, tomorrow we're going to go out and go to the beach, or let's go to the gym. And I'm proud to say that he does that now. For example, perfect example, today he told him, hey, I'm off on Thursday. You and I are going to the gym together. My youngest gets excited anytime my oldest comes to him and says, hey, we're going to go do something. We're going to go do this, So I'm glad that he did take that into play. And so I've talked to my youngest about him, to talk to his brother and tell him how he feels. About how he feels that his brother thinks that he's never good enough. Anytime that he does something that he feels his brother's like, well, you can do better. My oldest loves hard. He loves really hard. Well, my youngest is very energetic. He's very outspoken. He doesn't have a filter, but he has a soft heart. So, that's what I'm saying. They're completely different. And so the jealousy sometimes with my youngest one is because he does have a weak heart, and I feel like he looks for acceptance from his brother, and he wants to show that he can be better sometimes than his brother, and that's okay. But I talk about it, and it's important that you talk to them and let them know that, hey, you're both different. You cannot compare yourselves to each other. You're never going to be the same. You're never going to do the same things the same way. And you both can learn from each other and share with each other and build it with each other. So I think it's really, really important that we talk to our kids. My boys come to me about anything and everything, and I'm so glad that I have built that relationship with them, that I can happily say that, hey, one of them will come up to me and say, Mom, I need to talk to you. It could be about a girl, it could be about a situation, anything, whatever. And I love that, and I'm so thankful for that. So if I can give you an advice for the night, is to make sure that you talk to your kids. Keep the communication open. Check up on them. Start young, especially when you first give them phones. Let them know, hey, I will be randomly checking your phone. I will have access to your phone. I will have parental control on your phone. So I will know everything that you're doing. You're going to have social media. Well, guess who's going to be your friend on social media? Is going to be your mom. So that way we're not keeping them so tight, and we are giving them a little bit of freedom, but you're part of that freedom. And I think it's really important with the way society is today, with the way social media is, and how easy it is to get into dangerous situations. You need to be there for your kids. You need to have an open communication with them, and you really cannot sugarcoat anything. I don't sugarcoat anything. I make them feel uncomfortable. Same thing with my youngest. I'm like, you're 13, you're going to start liking girls. This is how it's going to start feeling. You're going to start feeling this way. Emotions are going to feel this way. Feelings are going to start happening. Girls can be pushy. That can make you do things that you may not want to do, but things feel nice and you might get tempted. Oh no, that's so nasty. I'm just 13 years old. How can you say something like that? Ew, that's gross. Yeah, ew, that's gross. But not when you're in the time when you are kissing and touching and da 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 da. Yeah, no. I'm sorry, but that's how life is. And that's what happens. So, point is, again, before I close up my night, for today's topic is make sure you have that open communication with your kids. Make sure that you're always present. Make sure you always check up on them. Yeah, you got to be the nosy parent, and you got to let them know, I'm going to be up in your business, but you're not going to see me. I'm not going to be so obvious, but I am going to be in your business, and I'm going to know everything. And I am going to talk to you, and I'm going to ask questions. And I want you to know that I'm going to always be here for you, no matter what. I'm not going to judge you. But if there are lessons that need to be learned, then I will make sure that we work on it and we'll figure it out together. So be that type of a parent. Please, this is the best way to protect your kids. Be open about everything and everything, no matter what it is, anything and everything. Build case scenarios. Talk about those case scenarios. What would you do? What can happen? This can happen. How would you handle this situation? Have those type of conversations with your kids. It starts to have them think when they see or they hear any type of these case scenarios, they're not going to be blindsided. So when there's peer pressure involved, they're not going to be able to say, I didn't know. Because guess what? You guys spoke about it. So thank you so much for taking some time and spending some time with my Get Ready for Bed. And I will talk to you all tomorrow. And hopefully we will get to know each other a little bit better. I'm going to go ahead and put on my bonnet. I'm going to try to read a couple chapters of my book tonight. Hopefully I don't fall asleep. And let's see what we'll talk about tomorrow. But tonight, I really needed to talk about my kids. Alrighty? So don't forget to subscribe for my channel and stay tuned for the next one. Have a great night. It's me again. So this is a perfect example about how my youngest wants to always debate and at times will put his brother down. So right now they're having a discussion with my husband. Check this out.
If I'm using this, if I have to use this, I'm killing you. I'm not
Hey
touching
guys,
you.
I'm just stop. Just ask.
He's talking about if somebody brushes a razor on you.
No, it's a one motion, not like this.
Hi, honey.
What's up? No.
Hi. Just seeing here how, you know, there's always some type of good discussion and debating going on.
Get slapped.
Yeah, I mean, I don't like the discussion topic.
No, it's definitely not. But you see, listen how these...
It's available. Babe, dinner was so delicious. Dinner was really
Oh, good. To watch my...
good job on that. Dinner was super delicious.
What are these boys...
Possible or not?
What are we doing here?
I got something for you.
What do we
Close your
have?
eyes.
Oh my goodness.
Well, I
You
was
gotta
wondering,
smell.
because he said that it would be possible. When I'm saying that it
I
would
don't
be
smell
possible, he
anything.
said that his shot left to give it to a cow.
I don't smell.
I can cut through a cow, yes, and the breast will fall out.
Oh, it's pumpkin spice! And it's Zelda! Look at this.
Well, no, duh. You can cut me, but if you're that type of
Hey, why are we talking?
No, it
Yes,
won't.
it will.
It just looked it up, bro.
Your organs, I guarantee you. I guarantee you.
No, you don't.
I guarantee you.
Okay, then when you do it to a fish, do the organs just come out?
Yes! I just got a catfish on Deacon's birthday.
Okay. Dad, do you have to pull it out, or do you hold, or can you hold it like this and it'll just fall out?
So I'm saying that, but if you can't get,
I'll get it, and your guts will be hanging out for sure.
No, they won't,
For sure.
bro.
For
You're
sure.
gonna be like an axe.
How thick is your skin?
Your first of all,
How thick?
okay, your skin, and you gotta get the tissue, fat, and muscle.
Correct. That's sliding right. It's a razor blade. Sliding right through.
Okay, you think if you no, Dad, leave it alone. Get the flies, bro. Okay, Dad. You think you can do that to Dad?
Yeah.
Oh, really?
It can happen to anybody.
Bro, are you stupid, bro?
Are you-
Hey! Hey!
There's muscle.
Hey!
You took my there's muscle, fat, and skin. Okay? And tissue.
This is what I was
And
trying